I've spent the last 24 hours making a browser-based playable RTS, complete with a resource-based economy, base building, a full combat system, 6 factions, and even multiplayer, and I'm going to show you how. I grew up playing real-time strategy games ever since I was a kid. They were all the jazz back in the early 2000s. I'm talking about Battle for Middle-earth 2, Age of Empires 2, Stronghold Crusader, Command & Conquer, Red Alert 2. I remember being 4 years old in my father's lap and driving around tanks in Command & Conquer, and then later crying that night because the save game got deleted. So it was a big part of my childhood, probably what got me into computer science anyway. One lazy Saturday afternoon, I'm just chilling out. Maybe I can play some RTS game. Wait a minute, I have like 80% of my cursor token allowance still left, and there's like 3 days left until the building cycle restarts. Not wanting to waste credits, I spin up cursor and I say, let's do it. Last time I made a video game was back in high school. I was just learning to code back then. I was trying to make kind of a ball breaker game, and that took me at least like a week to figure out the in-game physics. I know that I can make that in a single prompt now, so, how hard could an RTS be? How did I approach that? Well, first of all, I scoped it out. So I asked one of my agents to help me make a plan. So together we made like 10 files. We made some files on game concept, structure, and the whole setup. Then I started generating some assets with image generation. I think I used ChatGPT for that, since their image gen 2 is pretty good these days. I picked an art style, low-res, poly, simple meshes kind of thing, and I made some lore, some alien / like evil creatures from the depths attacking some people of the earth, and so on. Grok helped me come up with some of the lore, so if there's anything weird in there, it's probably because of that. I just spun up like 2 to 3 or even 6 agents at a time and asked it to make a work tree and make a draft BR and just commit and chuck everything to GitHub as it went along. I think I spun around 100 main agents in the 24 hours as I was building this. After they were done, I playtested a bit and then I just merged. Talking about the artwork, I made kind of a image generation pipeline. So some of it was like deterministic, some of it was just like agent-based. So I generated images for all of the factions on kind of green screens, and this is where the 3D comes in. I chucked all of that into Meshy, which I just found out about as I was making this. And it's crazy, like you can just chuck in a prompt and a sample image and it's gonna make you a 3D model. I really liked how it did the meshes, but Meshy kept making the textures too complex, so then I had to downscale them, and some of them I just painted with decoding agents, so kind of it made like a layer-based coloring thing for that. Audio, because yes, this game does contain faction-based music, all of the unit shouts, narrations, kind of nudges you to do attack moves or something, and all of the hero sounds as well. I asked Cursor to generate me a couple of unit lines and kind of make a checklist for all of the audio it's supposed to generate. I hooked it up to ElevenLabs and it just generated me a couple of samples of audio files for each of the units, and then I just pick a couple and also generate sound effects and then the music you hear in the game as well. I had to build a simulation lab to make sure that the balance was on, all of the kind of resource gathering curves and all the unit spawning was kind of on point. So it's surprisingly playable. It feels like a good game once you play it. And I even made a map generator that you see behind me, and that took care of where are the resources going to be placed, where are the free biomes, the mountains, the swamps, and the flatlands. And it even has some river erosion system and that kind of thing. For the tech stack, I kept it pretty simple. I just used TypeScript. I thought about maybe using a pre-made engine like Unity or Godot, but Claude was basically like, I can make TypeScript and I can write FreeJS code, but I can't click through the menus. I was like, I don't want to do that. And honestly, the rendering engine was up pretty quickly, and even a lot of the features you'd get from like a game engine, I wasn't really feeling like I was missing anything major for this project. I made a multiplayer, so you can play up to 3v3 on this, and it worked incredibly well. Basically, I just asked it, could we add multiplayer? And Claude was like, I got you, bro. So it hooked me up with Colyseus, which is kind of a server engine for multiplayer games, and I'm hosting that on Fly.io, and I'm hosting the front end on Vercel. What did it cost? My total bill was about 40 to 50 bucks in AI tokens, about $20 in Meshy. ElevenLabs was another 20 bucks, but I already had the sub through Lanny's product pass. And I think I bought the domain for like 10 bucks, and hosting on Fly.io for the multiplayer server is going to be about $5 per month. It was a very fun experience. The last time I did anything similar to this was like 10 years ago, and back then I was just kind of starting to learn to code. I even made an AI-generated kind of AI slop, Raid Shadow Legends type of trailer for this. So here we go, we have a launch trailer as well. And yeah, it's surprisingly playable. Try it out in the description. Thing that I need to mention about AI coding, it's extremely addictive. 5 years ago, if you wanted to make even a prototype, this would have taken weeks, if not months. When you ask it to add something, it just does it. It doesn't even crash anymore. Well, sometimes. And I'm still going. I have agents coding up in the background right now. It's crazy. In the end, what does this mean for artistic integrity? Does this make game dev jobs obsolete? Well, obviously not. We're still all gonna buy GTA 6, but I see things going two ways, like with many things in this kind of AI or technology wave in general. On one end, we see very high quality art and products, right? I'm talking about the difference between going to a cafe and going to a coffee machine or making coffee at home. You still go to a gallery to see Monet or Picasso, but that doesn't mean you can't draw something with crayons at home. This has some consequences. We should hold the big companies, the big publishers, to a higher standard. I'm talking about like Ubisoft or EA, right? We can't accept buggy, full price, early access kind of games anymore for 60 or 80 bucks. Guess what? We can make something broken or like half working by ourselves. You can basically make that for the same price yourself and share it with friends and self-host it for free. Thanks for watching. Try out the game in the description. It's called Sundermark, sundermark.dev, and tell me what you think about AI and all of these related things in the comments. Thanks.